This might be the saddest Hunger Games book ever. Spoiler warning for Sunrise on the Reapings, chapter 1 through 2 only. And please only comment about chapters 1 through 2 so we can have a spoiler-free book club. Thank you. There sure is a reaping, all right. Oh my god. So that it's split up between chapters 1 and 2. I am gutted. First of all, the slogans in the square, it's so 1984, especially the no peacekeepers, no peace. It's so much like war is peace. And oh my god, the banner of snow that says Pan Am's #1 peacekeeper. God, he's such a loser. I'm sure that was his idea. When Haymitch is thinking about his little brother Sid, how he and his mom will have to tell him how to behave on the reaping, he should try to go with some dignity and always remember, whatever happens, his family will love him and be proud of him forever. Tearing up just, that gives me chills. On a lighter note, the gumdrops. Haymitch got some to give to Lenore Dove later from the candy store. So that ties back into Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Snow remembers seeing Sejanus on the playground with a bag of gumdrops. I feel like these gumdrops just symbolize child innocence. Drusilla Sickle. She makes Effie look like a Care Bear. And the Sickle family, we know, they're in the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. There's 2 people. There was the academy gym teacher, Agrippina Sickle. Sejanus was her assistant and she was very demanding and Corio didn't like her. And one of Snow's classmates who was also in the mentor program, Vipsania Sickle. She mentored Treach from District 7 and Lucy Gray did take him out with a snake. This reaping. At first things are going normally. The 2 girls are picked, Luella McCoy and of course Maisie Lee Donner. And then we get to the boys and everything goes so wrong. Start with Wyatt Callow. He's nearly 19. And then Woodbine Chance. Haymitch has that moment of relief. And Woodbine, I don't blame him for what he does. He's like, yeah, I'm running away from this. You are not dragging me up there. And he makes a break for it. We end chapter 1 with the back of Woodbine's head explodes. Drusilla's reaction to this. You imbecile, you couldn't wait until he was in the alley? Look at this mess. Lady, she's mad they made a mess. And then we meet Peta's dad, Otho, and he's a big lug of a guy whose folks own the bakery. So the bakery's from Peta's dad's side, confirmed, and he's just standing there in shock because he got some blood on his blonde hair. Mr. Malark. And I love how Burdock is watching out for him. He just reaches out and punches Otho in the back of the knee so he gets on the ground. You know, because if he stayed up, he'd be in trouble. The screens go dead, they have a 5-minute delay, which makes sense. And I love how Haymitch, for the first time, I understand that when they show the reaping live, it isn't really live. God, just everything Drusilla says. We need another boy. The dead one's no good. And then Lenore Dove, she's trying to be there for Woodbine's ma, who is hysterical, of course. This whole thing lines up so well with Gale's whipping. How Katniss is running to his defense, and then how Haymitch defends her and Peta defends her, and so similar. The Peacekeeper's just trying to drag this boy away before his mom can even have a moment, and LD is trying to pull him away from the Peacekeeper. And Haymitch is like, I have no choice. I need to step in here. I push myself up and run toward her, hoping to get her to let Woodbine loose. I spy one of the incoming Peacekeepers raising his rifle to knock her out. Stop! I leap in to shield her just in time to intercept the rifle butt that slams against my temple. It's like Katniss being whipped in the face. And then Drusilla has the nerve to come over. The tip of one of her boots just lifts his chin up before letting it slam back down on the brick. Well, I think we've found our replacement. So Haymitch isn't even picked. His name wasn't plucked out of the Reaping Bowl. The Gil LD must have, because Haymitch was trying to defend her. And Drusilla's like, oh, just shoot that girl, would you? And then Plutarch's here. And Plutarch is just a slimy reality TV producer. I was going back and forth like, oh, is he actually trying to be helpful to Haymitch and Lenore Dove? Or is he just trying to get the shot? And I feel like he really just wants his shot, and conveniently it is helpful for them sometimes. I don't see Plutarch as being a rebel sympathizer here. He's an opportunist. Plutarch's in a violet jumpsuit. I'm pretty sure Plutarch wore purple in the trilogy too. Plutarch's first line. Hold it. If I could, Drusilla, I'd love to keep her for the tearful goodbye. The audience eats that stuff up, and as you always remind us, it's a challenge to get them to even notice 12. He just wants to exploit their tragedy. It does give Lenore Dove some time, and she is able to get away ultimately and not be shot, so thanks, I guess. Drusilla having dead fish breath? Ew. Her just grabbing Haymitch's face, play this right or I'll shoot you myself and she can watch. What's your damage, lady? So they go ahead and reshoot the reaping, fully staging it. First thing Plutarch says to Haymitch, don't be stupid, kid. She'll kill you with a snap if you mess up again. I have a feeling Plutarch's gonna be really walking that line between good and evil this whole book. But Haymitch's thought, I don't know if he means with a snap of her fingers or some extra horrible snappy way to die. Either way, I don't want to die with a snap. That makes me sick. I think of like your neck snapping. Haymitch is fully dissociating, and he doesn't even get to stand by Burdock or his friends during this either. Like, he's just on his own. When he gets on stage, he sees the camera on Lenore Dove, has a hand pressed against her mouth. She isn't crying, so Plutarch won't get his tearful goodbye. Not from her and not from me. They will not use our tears for their entertainment. moment. Bars. LD puts her hand to her heart and then she mouths the words, "I love you like all fire." Haymitch responds, "You too." I had to look up all fire because I hadn't really heard that term before this book. And Google says all fire is used to emphasize the degree or intensity of something, often with a sense of urgency or strong emotion. The toasting being the wedding ceremony, fire. And then there's confetti and there's canned applause, completely fake, blaring through the speakers. The confetti is sick. How dare you? I was very relieved that LD got away from the peacekeepers. Her uncles are awesome. Clerk Carmine and Tam Amber, they go up to the peacekeeper, they talk to him fast and low, and I think some money changes hands. To my relief, the peacekeeper glances around, releases her, and walks off. So they're able to pay him off to get her free. She was gonna be executed. And money plays a role in what happens next with Mr. Donner. This felt so real. He runs up on the stage with a fistful of cash, hoping to somehow bail Maisie out. And how Maisie says goodbye to her twin sister, merrily. For a moment, the Donner twins become one, arms locked around each other's necks, foreheads, noses pressed together. A mirror image that the peacekeepers tear in two. So there's a photo of Katniss and Prim doing that. Haymitch sees Sid and his mother. "I'm already so homesick I could die. I know I need to be strong, but the sight of them totals me." No. And we find out Haymitch said goodbye to a girl who was raped one year, who was a family friend, and she'd been recently orphaned. And Haymitch tries to comfort Luella, but she feels his handcuff on her shoulder and she squeaks like a baby animal in a trap. And Drusilla at first doesn't want Haymitch to say goodbye to his family at all, but Plutarch is able to finagle him some time, even though it's for his own agenda. He is a slime ball here. He's trying to get Haymitch's and Luella's families to reenact what they did when their kids were picked. Luella's family refuses it, and since they didn't give Plutarch what he wanted, he's just like, "Take the girl to the train. See ya." Plutarch propositions Haymitch's family, "Listen, I know this isn't easy, but I think we can help each other out. If I can get a usable reaction shot from you, I can give you a minute with Haymitch." And Haymitch wants to keep their pride, and he says, "Don't do it, Ma." But she agrees to do it if Plutarch will let her hold Haymitch one more time. The way he's producing the reactions is disgusting. Ma does react like he wants. She does a big gasp, but Plutarch's like, "Can we just do it one more time? Do a bigger gasp?" But it isn't once. Plutarch keeps calling for more dramatic responses. Call out his name. Hide your face in her dress. Can you break into tears? Until Sid's crying for real and my ma looks ready to pass out. He's just pestering them on purpose to get the biggest reaction possible. I'm pissed. But Haymitch does get a final embrace from his family. "I crush them against me for what I know is the last time, but time's a wasting and we are not a wasteful family." And then he gives him everything that he has on him. He has some nuts, candy, and a pocket knife. He still has his flint striker on though. The pack of roasted peanuts took me out a little bit. It's odd for me to think about peanuts and Panem for some reason. But actually, oh my god, that makes sense. Circus peanuts. Bred in circuses. And Haymitch with Sid, "I kneel in front of my little brother and hold out my sleeve like I did when he was tiny so he can wipe his nose on it. Big brother Haymitch, you're breaking my heart." And Haymitch gets electrocuted as he's dragged away. He's tossed into some compartment with a single barred window. And he's sitting there for an hour before they leave, and he sees Lenore Dove. She's up on a ridge, her red dress plastered to her body, one hand clutching the bag of gumdrops. As the train passes, she tilts her head back and wails her loss and rage into the wind. "And even though it guts me, even though I smash my fists into the glass until they bruise, I'm grateful for her final gift, that she denied Plutarch the chance to broadcast our farewell. The moment our hearts shattered, it belongs to us." Oh my god! What part of the reaping made you the most shocked or upset? If you can even pick one, please comment your thoughts about chapters 1 and 2. Remember, no spoilers for after that.